Hi guys, it's Lisa again, and today I'm talking about why you should leave in an abusive relationship, which seems like a really silly statement or question, because it's obvious. It seems obvious why you should leave an abusive relationship, um, but it's not as easy an answer as you may think. When you're involved in an abusive relationship, you know that you've got so much chaos, etc., going on in your head. You can't think very clearly, and sometimes, as ridiculous as this may sound, it almost seems safer to stay than to go, because of how scary that unknown of your future is. Um, so I just want to talk a bit about, if you're currently in an abusive relationship, why you should be, not maybe leaving straight away, but preparing to leave, preparing yourself to leave, and how you can prepare yourself to leave. Um, like I say, the choice between staying or leaving isn't black and white as it seems. You've got to remember, you've got so much going on in your head, and leaving will entail putting yourself first, which you're not used to doing. It will also entail taking almost a leap of faith into this black hole of uncertainty. So taking this leap of faith where you need faith in yourself, you need confidence in yourself that you're going to be able to make it sort of on the other side, doesn't come easy when you've been trodden down, time and time after again, and put down time and time after again. You've got no sort of sense of self almost, because for the whole time you've been in this relationship, you've had to put the needs of somebody else first. So it almost feels sort of alien, to start thinking about putting your needs first. But the reason why you should be planning to leave, you should be thinking, considering leaving, is because every day that you stay in this abusive relationship, you are losing sight more and more. You're losing sight of yourself as an individual, your identity, your decision making process, your self confidence, your self esteem. Every day you stay, that takes another knock, and the more knocks you get, the harder it is to leave. And I know some of you might have been in this relationship for years and years and years, and really can't see a way out. I promise you there is a way out. You maybe need to explore your options a bit. You might be financially tied or not sure where to live. There are options, there's help available, and you should be trying to take steps to leave this relationship. It's never going to end well, even if you have these arguments or you say you're going to leave, and they promise that they're going to change. I truly believe they can't change while you're still together. Why they don't need to change while you're still together. You know, you need to be apart, for both of you to change. You need to be away from this relationship in order to start claiming back yourself, and to start working on the most important relationship of all, which I've said before, which is the relationship with yourself. Um, all the time you're spending in this abusive relationship, you're putting the needs of that particular relationship first because you have to in order to stay safe. I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying is you need to start making steps to leave so that you can start working on the relationship again with yourself. You've no doubt lost that over the years or the time that you've spent, with this partner, um, and you can't carry on like this. You're not, what does your future hold? I know when you leave, like, the future's so uncertain, and like I keep saying, it's a great big black hole, and you just don't know where it's going to take you. However, I promise you, those small steps, that first step you take, as you take more and more small steps, that sort of black hole opens up, and it opens up to a world of opportunity and possibilities, that you won't have while you stay in this relationship. There is nothing good that is going to come from staying in this relationship, whether you've got children or not, whether you're financially tied or not, whether you've got nowhere else to go. There are places to go. There are people that will help. Um, and financially, things may be tough, but they will work out. And surely it's best to try and make it on your own with a small amount of money, as opposed to keeping your financial security possibly, but for the sake of your sanity and yourself and the relationship with yourself. Um, you need to be looking at the Women's Aid websites, the different domestic abuse charities, etc. out there, and the different help and support. Obviously, in a safe way. You've got to be careful when you're considering or planning to leave, um, because obviously it is a very dangerous time, particularly if they get wind of what you're doing. Um, but the thing that kept me going, I wasn't always planning to leave. I mean, I left loads and loads of times. I even had a refuge attempt and went back after a couple of weeks, because I didn't think I warranted a refuge place. I mean, I was quite badly physically abused, but it had been played down so much. I had played it down so much to, sort of the professionals when I'd been to see the doctors and things. And, you play it down in your mind, or you try and focus on the ups rather than the downs. So you've played it down so much. Um, you cannot, whilst you're in this relationship, see the extent of the abuse. And I'm sure that once you're out, you will start to see the extent of the abuse, and and be so thankful that you're finally out. Um, I keep saying it is a massive step. It's not easy, um, and you need to work yourself up to the point, where you've almost got that little bit of courage, that little bit of faith that it will all work out. And hopefully, I can give you a bit of faith that it will all work out. I mean, while I was not even planning to go, that while I was with in my abusive relationship, um, I always had my thoughts. I always knew that sort of my thoughts, and he couldn't read my mind. No matter what he'd done to me, I could still finally go to bed, or when it was time to go to sleep, I could lay there and I could picture what my future would be without him. Um, and I kept that going. So I can remember doing that when my son was literally 2 years old, and we didn't leave till he was 7. Um, and I just kept that in my head. I tried to keep that alive. I did. Obviously, it took me a long time to then go, because I kept trying to play it down or think, actually, he's not hit me for ages, it's getting better. It wasn't getting better. It was just I was not giving him any reason to hit me at all, because I was so controlled, and my actions were so measured, my comments were so measured. um, I was just literally an empty shell. I was there to serve a purpose, and I'd completely lost any sense of identity, any sense of self-confidence, any opinions, decision making. I'd lost all of that, and it takes a long time to get that back, which is why I urge people not to just pick up and leave just like that. Like I said, it's a very dangerous time, but to start making small steps, even if it's just within your mind. When you're safe, if you're at work or when you're not with him, careful of using your phone, obviously, but when you're in a safe place, and have got the time to sort of then cover your tracks. Have a look at the websites, have a look at the charities, read stories of people that have left, like listen to my videos, and that, because there's an amazing life waiting out there for you. You can put this behind you, and you can move forward to much bigger and better things. As scary as it seems, you don't want to spend a day too any longer really in this relationship that is diminishing your feelings of self-worth and self-esteem, because the longer you stay, the harder it's going to be to work yourself up to leave. So I really feel for these people. I was in a relationship for 9 years, but I've heard of people are in the relationship 20, 30 odd years. They've had their children together, they've had children together, and particularly when it's emotional abuse. Physical abuse is very easy to see, isn't it? But with emotional abuse, it's very hard. But it impacts you deep, deep down, and the longer you stay, the more buried you become. You become your personality, and your traits and your strengths just get pushed further and further down, because they want you to feel weak. They want you to the only way that you feel strong is to be with them. Um, they any sense of self is pushed so far down, and like I say, that every day, week, year that you spend longer with them, it's going to just get pushed further down. There's literally not going to be a happy ending. There's really not. The only happy ending you can get is to take that leap of faith, that first couple of steps into the black hole that that is your future, because as you step into that sort of darkness, lights do appear. They appear from all sorts of places. You really wouldn't believe the support and that you have got out there waiting for you. Um, like it's just been Valentine's Day, so and I wrote in my husband's card, thank you so much for your unconditional love and support, because that's what I've got now. I never thought, that day I left or when I was planning to leave, that I'd ever find this sort of unconditional love and support. Um, but I have, and it's out there waiting for you, and not just from another partner. It's inside you. It is still there. Believe me, you are still there. You're still there. It might be buried deep down. It probably is buried deep down. But don't let it get buried anymore. Okay? Start using your mind. Start using your thought process to try and work out ways. Speak to somebody you trust. Speak to somebody on the Women's Aid or Refuge helplines. Um, Speak to whoever you do that makes you feel safe. Obviously, your safety is your primary concern. Um, you need to put yourself first, and I know that's very alien to you at the moment, but you need to put yourself first. You need to put your thoughts, your wants, your desires. What do you want your life to be like? Sort of a couple of years down the line, how do you want to be living your life? I bet your bottom dollar it's not how you're living right now. Okay, so let's work out how you're going to get to this place where you want to get to. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. But look at what you've already been. Look at how far you've come. Look at what you've lived through already. It's going to be a struggle, but you're strong. You can do this. Okay. So why do you need to leave this abusive relationship? Because you need to find yourself again, and you need to find yourself again as quickly as possible. Because the longer you leave it, the harder it is going to be, and the longer it takes. Look, I was in a relationship for 9 years, and 13 years later, I'm still sort of working through my barriers and my feelings and my beliefs and my fear system. My fear system is still really ingrained, and it's taken a lot of work to help get that out. And I just want you guys just to maybe do it a little bit quicker and get some help a bit quicker. I felt I could cope with it all, but there's obviously much underlying reasons why I act the way I do, why I react the way I do to certain things, and why I feel the way I do about myself. And much of that relates to my past and the abuse. And my son's the same. He's there's still sort of these beliefs that he's got of himself sort of not being good enough, or things which I know stem from obviously those primary years of being involved in this abusive relationship. Um, so guys, you need to get out. Like I say, not straight away. Be aware of your safety. Safety comes first, as it always does. Start using your thought processes. Start sort of thinking about what life will be like on the other side. Knowing and building the faith in yourself that you can do this. You can do this. You really, really can. Um, and you need to start sort of building a case together of how you're going to do this. You don't need to know all the answers. Things will happen. Things will as you make that step. Things open up, and you'll realise the support and that out there. But guys, don't bury yourselves any longer. Don't let your sense of identity fall even further away from you. Don't let that lovely individual self that you are, um, suffer any more blows. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Start believing in yourself, start bigging yourself up. I know how hard it is, but like I say, your mind and your thoughts are yours. They're your individual thoughts. Okay, no one can take them away from you. You can build up a picture of how you're going to do it, of where you're going to go, and what you're striving for, and that will help you make that leap. And when you do, there will be people there to support you. I promise. I promise. So start thinking, guys, you're not going to put up with this any longer. There's something wrong. You've suffered for it too long, or you've got a niggle. Make the move. Start gaining some information, gaining some confidence, and bigging yourself up, because you are amazing. You're an amazing individual that was born to do everything that you wanted to. There's anything you want to do is out there for you. You've just got to take this leap of faith, and I promise you it will be worth it, and you will never look back. Give it a go, guys. Thanks a lot. Good luck. Bye.